I'm going to share with you a task that if you complete, your English will be better than it is right now. And if you follow this project and you stick with it for the next 100 days, I can 100% guarantee that you will become fluent in English. But first, hi everyone. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Asim. I'm a polyglot. On this channel, we help young people like you speak English fluently and confidently while enjoying the process. So let's get started. First, I'll share with you a little bit about my background, and then we will discuss the project that you can follow for the next 100 days to speak English fluently. So when I was in middle school and high school, I studied English grammar a little bit here and there, but I didn't really know how to speak English. I didn't even know how to introduce myself in English. At that time, I hated English. It was my least favorite subject because I thought it was boring. But once I discovered this whole online language learning community, I started to enjoy English. I started to like it. So I decided from now on, I'm not going to learn English from school. I'm not going to learn grammar. I'm going to learn this language by myself on my own from the internet. And here I am 4 years later making videos in English. How did that happen? How I went from speaking zero English to now hopefully speaking fluent English? Well, I followed certain steps and rules that got me to this level of fluency in English, which I'm going to share with you now, which is our today's task or project. As I said, follow these steps for the next 100 days. Don't miss a day, and I guarantee you will become fluent in English. You will speak English fluently. The first rule is speak English for 3000 minutes. Now, it might seem like a bit too much for you, but it's really not. If you think about it, it's just 30 minutes of speaking practice every single day for the next 100 days. The important thing is to be consistent. Don't miss a day and you will get to like 3000 minutes of speaking practice, which will get your English to the next level if you do it. When it comes to practicing your English speaking, English learners usually have two main problems. I had these problems as well when I was a beginner in English, when I was just trying to learn English. The first one is with whom to practice your English speaking. And the second one is what should you talk about? What topic should you discuss with other people to improve your English? So now let's take on the first one. With whom to practice your English speaking with? Well, it depends on what your English level is. If you're just starting out, if you just started learning English a week ago or a month ago, then what I would recommend you to do is to speak with yourself. So, like, speak in front of a mirror, choose a topic, and then discuss the topic with yourself in front of a mirror. Because chances are, when you are a beginner in English, you're not that confident, like, you feel shy talking in front of somebody else. So, the best thing to do is to just talk with yourself and discuss topics, and that's how you're gonna practice your English speaking. The second way to practice your English speaking, and I would recommend this for most people, is to make online friends and practice your English speaking with them. Find English learners who are not from your country, who are foreigners, and speak English with them. I did this from the start. I started, joining different Facebook groups and joining other online English learning communities. And that way I met some new people, I became friends with them, and I would occasionally practice my English speaking with them a few times a week. The second problem is what to talk about during the conversation. So when you are having a conversation with someone and you're, having this small talk, you're asking them, where are you from? How are you doing? What is your job? All of these questions are unnecessary. I know they're important. It's important to get to know the other person, to get to know the person you're speaking to, but it's not going to help you improve your English. If you want to improve your English, you need to dig deep and talk about something like a really interesting topic that you can kind of debate about or have arguments about. And the way you find those topics in conversations is by asking someone what their hobbies are. So when you're speaking with someone, ask them, what are your hobbies? And if they say something like, okay, I go to the gym, and you also go to the gym, then you can talk about like working out and going to the gym and what exercises they do and what exercises you do and how's your bulking or cutting going, blah blah blah. And that's how the conversation goes, like narrow and deep. The next rule is to watch YouTube videos 30 minutes per day. As we all know, listening is the most important part of learning a language. If you want to become fluent in a language, you have to listen to that language a lot, a lot, a lot. Because of the environment, we need to surround ourselves with the language we are learning, and that's how we learn our native language as well. We learn it by listening to our parents and siblings. So, if you want to learn English, you need to surround yourself with English by listening to English a lot. And one great way to do that is to watch YouTube videos in English because let's be honest, we watch a lot of YouTube videos. I don't know about you, but like I probably watch 2 hours a day of YouTube. So imagine if you're like spending 1 or 2 hours every single day and learning English at the same time. That would be amazing. If you can't do like 2 hours on 1 hour, that's fine. The challenge is to at least watch YouTube videos for 30 minutes every single day for the next 100 days. What should you watch YouTube videos about? Well, that's an interesting question. If I were you, what I would do is I would find a topic I'm interested in or a topic I would want to explore and learn things about. Or maybe I want to learn a skill. For example, if I want to learn video editing, I will watch a lot of YouTube tutorials about video editing in English. And this way, you will get basically two benefits. First, you will learn the skill by watching and consuming content about it. And second, you will improve your English. You will listen to English a lot and you will be immersed in it. And that's just amazing for your English. The third rule is to chase a celebrity for 10 minutes a day. It's not as weird as it sounds. Let me explain what I mean by that. So like a few years ago, I was really obsessed with listening to pop music in English. I would listen to it all the time. And my favorite artist was Taylor Swift. To improve my English, what I did was I chased Taylor Swift for 10 minutes a day. Not literally on the internet. Like I would find her interviews, I would watch TikToks and Instagram videos about her. Like I would watch videos about her on Facebook, I would watch her podcast, all of that stuff. In a really weird way, my English improved. Like I did not intend to improve my English by watching Taylor Swift's interviews, but just by watching her interviews a lot and by listening to her music, by watching videos of her on different platforms, my English improved. I would recommend you to do the same thing. Maybe you already have a favorite celebrity. I want you to think about that celebrity and I want you to chase that celebrity for 10 minutes a day. Listen to their songs if they make, watch their movies, watch their interviews, watch their podcasts, watch videos about them on Instagram and TikTok. And by doing that, your English will improve a lot. You will learn English subconsciously without even thinking about it. You will be so immersed in English that you will just pick up the vocabulary, the grammar, and the pronunciation. I understand that only doing that is not enough. Like, if you only do that, if you only, chase the celebrity thing, your English is probably not going to become fluent because you need other things as well. And that's why we have other rules. That's why we have the next step, which is to learn 1,000 new words. Now, this might sound like a big number in your head because, like, 1,000 words seems a lot, but it's really not. If you're consistent and you learn 10 new words every single day, in the next 100 days, you'll have learned like 1,000 new words, which will probably make you fluent in English. And also, as you probably already know, vocabulary is super important. The more words and phrases you know, the better your conversations will get. The more fluent your conversations will be, and the better you'll be able to convey your ideas and your thoughts into other people's minds. If you want to learn how you can learn vocabulary, these 10 new words, then you can watch this video in which I shared how you can learn vocabulary in very, very detail. The next rule is to correct your 100 mistakes. A lot of people don't talk about it, and I think it's super important. So what's the difference between someone who is fluent and someone who is not? One of the main differences is that the person who is fluent in English doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and the person who is not makes a lot of mistakes and gets stuck all the time. It's super true that the less mistakes you make, the more fluent and confident your conversations in your English will be. How do you do it then? How do you correct your mistakes? Let's say you're having a conversation in English and you get stuck. Or maybe you couldn't remember a phrase or a word, or you just don't know what to say and you made like a pronunciation mistake, for example. Rather than just forgetting about it and carrying on with that conversation, I want you to write that mistake down somewhere on a piece of paper. Just quickly write it down in like 1 or 2 seconds and then continue the conversation. Once you have some free time during the day, look those things up. Maybe you mispronounced a word, maybe you couldn't remember a word or a phrase. You can learn that. You can learn the pronunciation of the word, and also you can study, investigate a grammar rule. As I said, focus on correcting one mistake of yours each day, nothing less, nothing more, and you will get to that high English level. Hopefully you've learned something new today from this video. If you have this problem that you understand English but you cannot speak it well, then I have a really special method that will help you get rid of this problem. I teach that method in this video. If you're interested, go check it out and get rid of this problem of understanding English but not being able to speak it. You will understand English as well as speak it. Okay, hopefully this lesson was helpful. See you in the next one.